Welcome to Castle Campbell.
Castle Campbell was originally known as Castle Gloom. The name may have been derived from the Scottish Gaelic word glom, meaning chasm, and refers to the two narrow gorges at either side of the castle's site. The natural defendable position may have been the site of a motte in the 12th century. A motte is a small hill in the centre of a castle or fort where a fort is built for defensive purposes. The present tower was built around 1430 for John Stuart, Lord Lorne, or one of his kinsmen. The property was acquired by Colin Campbell, 1st Earl of Argyll, in 1460 during his marriage to Isabel Stuart, Lord Lorne's daughter. The first historical record dates to 1461 when Pope Paul II issued a papal bull against Walter Stewart, who was son of Lord Lorne, for attacking and damaging the place of Glom. Campbell was at the papal court and may have played a key role in organising the Pope's involvement. The accession of Castle Gloom expanded the power of the Campbell family from Argyll in the west, and it also suited Colin Campbell's position as Master of the Household to King James III of Scotland, which required him to attend court on a regular basis. In February 1490, Campbell petitioned the newly crowned James IV to formally change the name of Gloom Castle to Castle Campbell. The name was changed by an Act of Parliament called the Castle Campbell Act of 1489. The name change may imply that the term castle was seen as prestigious, requiring royal approval to use. The East Range was added first, and sometime after the accession of the second Earl in 1493, the large South Range was begun. In the early 16th century, the 4th Earl of Argyll embraced the cause of religious reformation and became one of the leading Protestant lords of his day. His family supported the Calvinist preacher John Knox while he was in Scotland in the 1550s. John Knox visited Castle Campbell and preached here sometime in 1556. In January 1563, Mary Queen of Scots stayed at the castle for 3 days on the occasion of the marriage of Margaret, who was the sister of the 5th Earl of Argyll and James Stuart, Lord Doon. At this occasion, John Knox disapproved of the dancing. It is said that the Earl of Murray and the Earl of Argyll plotted to capture Queen Mary and Lord Darnley as they returned to Edinburgh from Perth in July 1565. Following their marriage in 1565, Argyll joined other Protestant lords in the rebellion called the Chaseabout Raid. Mary and Darnley received the surrender of Castle Campbell after this failed attempt. The Earls of Argyll continued to support the Protestant cause, and in the religious conflicts of the 17th century, Archibald Campbell, 8th Earl of Argyll, became the leader of the Presbyterian Covenanters in opposition to the leading royalist James Graham, the 1st Marquess of Montrose. In 1645, Montrose's troops laid waste to the lands around Castle Campbell. Many of Montrose's men were Macleans, who were long-standing enemies of the Campbells. The castle itself was undamaged and no siege was attempted. In response to this Montrose attack, Argyll ordered the destruction of Menstrie and Airth castles, both of which were seats of the Royalists. After the execution of Charles I, the Campbells briefly supported Charles II. with Argyll placing the crown on Charles II's head at Scone in 1651. However, Argyll opposed Charles II's invasion of England and in 1652 submitted to Oliver Cromwell's Commonwealth. Cromwell's forces were garrisoned in the castle in 1653, and in July 1654, Royalist rebels attacked and burned the castle over 2 nights. Argyll was executed following the Restoration of 1660, and his son, the 9th Earl, built Argyll lodgings in Stirling rather than rebuild and renovate the castle. Apart from briefly being garrisoned during the 1715 Jacobite uprising, the castle was abandoned. In 1948, the owners of the castle and the Harveston estates was a businessman and former Lord Provost called Sir Andrew Orr. He gave Castle Campbell and Dollar Glen to the National Trust for Scotland. The castle is now managed by Historic Scotland. you.